my single eyeshadow collection organized is really, really difficult because A, I like to project pan them all and I like to pull them in and out of palettes. B, I can't stop buying them. And C, I recently got some sent to me in PR. So they're just everywhere right now. I have this palette that's unorganized, this palette that's unorganized, and this palette that's unorganized. And today I'm going to try and organize them to the best of my ability. A lot of them are already organized in these layers. So I have different color stories here for each little section. But of course, things get moved around and I need to get some organization in these and in this. But just before we do jump into the video, if you have not already, like and subscribe because it would mean the world to me. I upload every single day here on my YouTube channel. I love bright, fun, colourful makeup with indie brands, indie duochromes, and that is what I'm going to focus on today. I'm sure I'll be swatching some things. I'm going to try not to swatch everything, but I don't know, that urge is difficult to ignore. So I was going to just try and fill out this palette, like the spaces that are left, but I might actually just take everything out, color coordinate it, and go from there. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I am a little bit nervous because my nails are dangerous to these shadows, so I'm gonna try not to scrape anything or destroy anything. So this palette that I am trying to incorporate back into my singles collection, this is my old Pan That palette. To be honest, this can come out because that is a finished shade. So that's one less shade to worry about. I do also have this one that is in a Project Pan. So these are Project Pan shades, which will not be going back into my collection. But these are shades that I was trying to finish, but I've just given up with that Pan That palette, to be honest. If you saw my update, you will know all the reasons why. But these all need a new home. All of these are shades that never fit into this palette, but I just want a little bit of a refresh, to be honest. So hopefully these can be put somewhere. Everything apart from this top row are new shades that I have recently acquired, whether through PR or through purchasing. So hopefully I can get some homes for them. And then this palette is my No Pan Left Behind palette. I am going to keep this how it is, but I do still want homes for these. So maybe I'll just make a note of what is in this palette and then I can kind of go from there. So I'm going to take everything out by a color, I think. So I'm going to start with the neutrals. Okay, so these are all the neutral single eyeshadows that I have in my makeup collection. We can see we've got a few blacks, we've got quite a few deep browns, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. This isn't necessarily going to be a full declutter, but I just want to organize stuff. I just want to get stuff, I don't know, looking nicer, you know? So each layer of my big palette can house 28 single eyeshadows. So with that being said, I'm going to take out the blacks just because they can kind of go anywhere. And I'm going to take out this white because that can also go anywhere. And this is what we're left with, a nice neutral heap of shades. So what I might do is take some of the more vibrant shades out just because I might want to put them in more of like an orangey yellow palette maybe. I feel like this is definitely more like pure neutral here. So let's play around with this. So I think I want to start with lightest shades to darkest shades. I do really like that little gradient look. So we'll see. I have a feeling that I'm going to have way too many eyeshadows here. But hey, we can see how things go. So I'm putting a lot of the very light shimmers up here, a few darker shades. I think undertone might be a little bit of a struggle with this just because I have so many. Like this one is a pink undertone, but this one's a yellow undertone. Maybe I'll put that in the pink section then. I'm really not sure. I'm just going and hoping for the best. There are a lot of shades that are very similar in these palettes, so I'm sure at some point in time I will end up doing a pretty big declutter. I did do a little bit of a declutter series not too long ago with my single eyeshadows, but I want to keep them all. What can I say? I'm one of those people. I just want to keep all of them. I'm so bad at decluttering shades, even though I know I have about 50 of the same shades. Like, look at these 4. They're the same exact shade. Like... I definitely need to work on some of these because, I mean, all these 4 look the same. I've got about 20 dark brown shades. I've got so many of these light matte shades. And I do have 3 overflow shades here, which I don't know where they're going to go. This could go in like the ready section maybe, but these 2 definitely are neutral. So... I don't know, but I'm happy overall with this little section here. I feel like I need to finish all of them really quickly. And one of the reasons why I was so umming and ahhing whether or not to just give up on my singles pan that palette is because, like, this shade, for example, I've made such good progress on this and I could have this out. I could have this out really, really soon, but... I don't know, for right now, it's just not the time. So let's move on to blue/green. And I do have a feeling that this section is going to turn into just blue. But I don't know, we'll see. So again, I'm going to take everything out, including all the shades from the other palettes that are either blue or green. And then we will see what we have. Alright, we definitely have more blue and green shades that can ever fit. Like, look at all of these. That's kind of crazy. And my original thought was to put this shade that we put to the side in this blue-green palette. But honestly, I don't know if we'll have room. I'm going to try and start with that first. But again, I think this is literally just going to have to be blue. I don't know. So I'm going to start with some, like, cool tones here. God, this is going to be pretty difficult, I think. I have no idea where to even start with this. I'm just going to pull in some really light tone blues and kind of figure it out from there, I guess. Okay, this is all the blues. So I have one more periwinkly kind of shade, which will fit in here. But I have space for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shades. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 greens. So I don't think we're gonna fit a lot in here. I'm just kind of putting some more tealy shades, I guess, down at the bottom. So something a bit like that. That looks a lot better, I think. But again, I have a lot of overflow now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shades of overflow. So we're gradually building a pretty extensive overflow collection, but that's okay. We're going to pretend we do not see for right now. And then let's move on to some pink shades. So again, I'm just going to take them all out. Okay, it's safe to say I have a hell of a lot of pinky purple shades. I may have to sort this out by undertone, so I might have to have like more warm tone pinks in here and then put my more cool tone pinky purpley shades somewhere else, just because there is so many pinks here, and considering I don't even like pink eyeshadow that much, it's a lot. It's a lot. So once again, I'm going to pick out some super, super light shades. And again, we have a shade like this, which is just a lid setting shade. So I might just put that to the side. I don't know where that's going to go yet, but it's going to hopefully go somewhere. Okay, so here are some of the more lighter true pink shades that I have. So I'm just going to try and organize them in the right-ish way. I find this way of organizing so much easier, just doing it by section. It just makes things a little bit are definitely more purple leaning. I feel like these two need to go in here like that. This could be a good one to have at the end. Maybe I could pop a black in the end because I've got like 3 blacks that are needing to go somewhere, so I could pop a black there. Okay, all these definitely are purple. So what can I do? This is kind of a pinky reddy brown. So I don't think that looks weird in there. Maybe it does. I don't know. No, that looks okay. I think that looks fine. And then if we could pop these two in, these are more pinky tones. So it's just trying to rearrange them. What can I do? I think this can go on the other row. Okay, what are we thinking of this? I took a very long time on that, but this is the best that I can kind of get it to. There's a lot of clashing undertones in here, which I think was throwing me off a lot. So I have more peachy pinks here. I've got more like Barbie pinks. I've got some more dusty pinks up top. Some definitely more cool tone pinks down at the bottom as well. These two random like bluey pinks. But I think for now, this is good. I didn't want to put any of these in there because these are definitely more purples. So yeah, let's move on to the next row. Now this is a difficult one because this is yellow, red and green, but I don't know, I might have to switch it up a little bit. If I look at all of my overflow here, I've got some neutrals, I've got some greens, and now I have purple as well. So I'm really not sure. I think if I keep it to yellow, red and green, I can definitely put a few of these overflows in there. But I have no idea. I am a little bit stumped, to be honest. So I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to take everything out. I don't even know what to look for in my other palettes right now, to be honest. I might just take all of my remaining shades out of the palette that they're in and just kind of go for it, question mark. I really am not sure. So if I just look at what, oh wow, that just like flew itself. Wow, okay. If I just look at the shades that I have in front of me, it is overwhelmingly either purple or bright neutral, so like orange, yellow kind of shades. So I might try and do a similar color story as to what was here in the first place. I do have these more grey tones, which I have no idea where they're gonna go. I've got this, which is like a green to white shade. I have this, which is just a rainbow shade, so I have no idea where that's gonna go. And then obviously 2 more grey grungy tones here. Then here I have 2 like muddy, sicky green shades. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to wing it, I guess. Try and make something that is like semi good looking. Who knows? I have no idea what I'm going to be able to do with this. Pray for me. Pray for me. Okay, so this is what this new palette looks like now. I filled this now. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of the shades, but I'm happy with how this looks. It's definitely a little bit different, following the same kind of vibes. So, I have this palette, which is very, very dirty. So let me rub this down again. I'm thinking my purple shades in here. This is a rainbow shade, so that can go in. Yeah, kind of purpley. I don't even know if they're all going to fit. I think they will. I think they will. I don't know. I hope they will. What are we thinking about this? This is a nice little purple palette. I've tried to keep a lot of the cool tones up top and then kind of bleed it into more warm tones. I do have one pinky shade left over, but it is more of that kind of grey kind of tone. So I think it could go in a different palette, but that is what this purple palette looks like. Okay, and now I have this palette, which was my Pan That Palette single palette, and it is disgusting because it's had so many eyeshadows with such big pans on them. A lot of the time it will just like crumble in here, so that is why it is so gross. But let me just clean all of this out. Oh my goodness me. So the leftover shades that I have, there's a lot of greens and there's a lot, well, I say a lot, there's a few neutrally shades. So I think this could make quite a nice little color story. So I'm going to start with that like white to green shade. I'm going to start the gradient with the greens, I think. We've got 3 teals, which could go here. I think this color story is going to just be a bit of a random mess of a color story. I've got this kind of grungy dark green, which could then lead into these grays. Okay, and then I've just got some random ass shades. So we could do the pink, the brown, a random gold, a random red, and then, oh, this fills it out perfectly. 2 black shades there. That's a very, very random color story, I know. But you know what? It's not the worst thing in the world. I was expecting something a lot worse. And you know what? I'm actually really happy with my singles collection now. So just to recap, this is like the greeny, reddy overflow palette, I guess. Then I have my purple palette. I'm definitely more gravitated to these top shades here. Then I have my neutral palette, then my blue palette, then my pink palette, and then my tropically bright yellowy red kind of green palette. This actually went a lot better than I thought it would. I'm really, really excited to play around with my singles now. Oh my god, my hands are disgusting and filthy, but I'm really excited. I think they all look really, really cute. Let me know what you think down below. Most of these shades are from the Pastel Roses. I've got a few NBA Cosmetics and then just a few depotted palettes as well in here. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for a brand new video. Bye bye!